Welcome to this episode of Truth Seekers, where His Grace Bishop Emilianos of Maloa will answer questions sent in by the youth with a member of the youth.
Hello Stephanie, thanks for coming here today. Would you like to tell us a few things about yourself?
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm Stephanie Sackley. I am 21 years old and I'm in my final year of doing business.
Great. I've got a question for you. When you're doing good works, how do you differentiate whether you're doing it for God or to feed your ego? What are your thoughts?
My personal opinion is that when you're doing it just for your ego, it's only for your heart, but it doesn't fulfill your soul. When you're doing it for God, it fulfills your soul.
So how would it feel if you do something and only your heart feels it? How would this feel?
You would remember it for a little bit, but then you kind of just forget about it, and you would you kind of just feel a bit guilty in a way. So when you're doing it for God, you remember it more and you feel ease. You remember it more often than doing it just for your own ego.
So when you're doing good works, if you're doing it to feed your ego, your main focus is yourself. But when you're doing it for God, you don't care about yourself. And of course, some people, they might be more perfectionist than others, meaning that they would like a perfect result of everything they do. But when you're doing something for God and when you're doing something for the love of others and it's not for yourself, you have to leave everything in God's hands. And this means that the result doesn't matter in the sense, not that it doesn't matter, but in the sense that the result depends on God's blessing. But what really matters is that you put all your effort there, your conscience is clean, and you don't care if you will get any glory out of it. That's why I'm saying that the result doesn't matter. And of course, you want to benefit others, but if you leave everything in God's hands, He knows better what they need and when. So we just do what we have to do and we leave everything in God's hands.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And if God blesses what we're doing, then it's blessed. If God doesn't bless what we're doing, we still don't do it for ourselves. But if we're doing good works to feed our ego, this looks like we want our image to be advertised. We want everyone to recognize us. Mm-hmm. So when we're doing good works to feed our ego, we will care a lot about the result because we expect people to recognize us, and they won't recognize us if we don't succeed. That's why it's unavoidable that we push ourselves to succeed. But when we don't care about our ego and we don't care about ourselves and we care about God and about God blessing others through our works, then we leave everything in God's hands. So when you see people doing their best just to give a good image of themselves to others, this means that the only thing they care about is about their ego. And it's sad, but God can even use this to help others. The thing is that, as the gospel says, when we do things to show off, we received our reward. But when we do things for God, our reward will be in heaven. And maybe God will never reveal what we did for others, but maybe God will reveal what we did for others. And although our goal is not the glory, God might make us famous even if we're not working for our own image and for our own ego. But if we do work only for ourselves, then whatever we do will have no reward in heaven. What do you think?
I agree with exactly what you just said. It's inspiring to see, and it fulfills you better when you're doing it for God and not just for your own ego.
That's correct. All right. Thank you very much for coming today.
Thank you.
I have this home inside my heart, and it tore me all apart, and my soul is lost. All hope it could ever be whole again. So I scream, someone help me become somebody that I can bear to see, step back and be.